Welcome to the My Winter Car series. I'm going to be starting a new series. This will be episode 1, and we're going to play modded My Winter Car. I got a plethora of mods here. We'll go through them. Got apartment shed. Haven't used it. We're going to try it out as a shed to your apartment. Automatic fuses. I'll talk about that more later when we get to it. Better apartment. This is a really cool one. It kind of cleans up your apartment, makes the cabinets openable. Does a lot of cool stuff. Better firewood. This will automatically load logs into your trailer for you if you're cutting the logs manually, but I'm not using it for that. I disabled the UI on it. I'm only using it because it'll add lights at your parents' house out there where you cut the wood, and it helps at night because there's a lot of darkness in the game, so I added it for that. You do need to replace the fuse in the out there where you cut the wood, so that's why we have automatic fuses. It's easy when the fuse pops to replace it. So got bolt visualizer, pretty self-explanatory. Chase camera, that's a third-person camera view. I don't use it when driving. I feel like it kind of takes away from the essence of the game, but I use it for stuff like backing up and just to see how close I can get to things. Clock load fix. So the way the game works is it works on hour intervals. That's how the game system works. And what this does is when you save the game normally, it'll jump ahead to the nearest hour. It'll fast forward to the hour ahead. Well, what this does is it jumps back to the nearest hour. So if you save at 7:30, when you load into the game, it'll be 7 instead of 8. So that's why we got that one. Closed pit. The pit at your parents' house in the garage, it adds a switch inside the garage where you can open and close that pit, which is kind of cool. Kind of makes your stuff from falling down the pit like your car. Cold start fix, pretty self-explanatory. It helps with starting the sorbet. Sorbet can get real funky when starting it and the battery dying, so we added that. I feel like it just makes the game more fun. Entry garage, that's a really cool one. I'll show you more when we get to that point, but it adds a garage that you could work in, and it's near the town of Parajarvi, so it'll be fun. Wear inspector inspects the items conditions, pretty self-explanatory. Cool mod. Electricity meter, I love this one a lot. You can change the price, the kilowatt hour. We're gonna leave it at default though. I think it's a good price. Plus, you want a little bit of hardship in the game, and also it can kind of track and see how much you're using, which helps if you want to reduce on that. Enhanced subtitles, really cool one. It adds subtitles, especially when you're like working at the factory and all your coworkers are talking in Finnish. Well, you can kind of see what they're saying, and I like this one a lot. Banded clothes, really cool. It adds hangers in a lot of the homes, and you could put your coat and hang up your coat and your jacket, your overalls and your jacket, and it will also it'll show the clothes on your arms, like when you're smoking a cigarette and stuff like that. You can actually see the clothes on your arms, which I think is really cool. GUI tweaks. What this does is it adjusts for your 16:9 ratio. It adds the bar over here with your stat bars over here. It shows a dirtiness meter. I don't know if that does anything, but it does show it in the game, and it does go up, and I do use it, and I like to see it. And then it'll also show the temperature outside. It'll be in Celsius, and you can change the color of it. Right now it's this blue color, which I really like. Normally it's yellow. Guitar mod. This coincides with the mod. I'll show you which one. This coincides with the store. This one, mod shop for mods. This was in my summer car. It got added into my winter car just recently. Not a lot of mods out for this one yet, but it allows purchasable items at PSK, so it's really cool. And guitar is one of them. I added that. I haven't used it yet, but we added it. We're gonna try it out. How much is left? Displays contents of items. See, we're gonna try that out. Why not? Immersive taxi map. It adds a 3D pin to the sun visor in the taxi. I haven't used it yet. I haven't done the taxi driving, but we have it, and we'll try it out and see if we like it. Infinite battery keeps the car batteries fully charged. Now, some would say this is cheating, and I agree it is, but I feel like it just makes the game more enjoyable for me personally. So use it if you want. And we went over that, the mod shop. More heating pools. We're going to try this out. I did have one just at my parents' house. There was a mod for that, but this one adds it at more locations. When you first load into the game, you're going to see a bunch of wires connecting to the main one at your apartment, but once you save the game at your apartment, those wires will disappear. So we're going to try that. Multi-hitch Gifu connector. So what that is, allows us to connect the trailer to the Gifu. I haven't used it yet, but we're going to try it out, see how it works. My winter car localization cord. Now this is a translation. I made a light English translation mod that I posted on Nexus Mods. You can download it there, and it uses the My Winter Car localization core. So that's what you're seeing here. So it translates things to English, like the TV, ATM, the gas pump, and ATM, gas pump, and television. Pretty much any television screens, including the ones at PSK. Saves manager, that's so we can have multiple saves. PSK, I'm trying this for the first time. I haven't used it. It's supposed to add more traffic and people to PSK, so we're going to try it out. Just came out. Railroad crossings, self-explanatory. Add some crossings, helps you don't gotta worry about the train. You know, you can fly through those and not have to look for the train. Show both sides, pretty self-explanatory. Summer fatigue, it changes the fatigue from the My Winter car rates closer to the My Summer car rates. It'll also let you gain fatigue by watching the TV again, like you can in My Summer Car, which I really like. This is one of my favorite mods. Texture pack loader, pretty self-explanatory. I'm only using one. I'm using this Rest in Peach. It does liquid death. It adds it changes the energy drinks from the basic in-game energy drinks to this Rest in Peach. So it's cool. It kind of adds something that you could be familiar with, and I really like the cans. The guy did a good job. And I have monster cans here, and then also different taxi, but we're using this Rest in Peach. So time show. So when you check your clock on your watch, this will pop up. It'll show the time and military time and the 2400 style clock, and it will also show the temperature of your body temperature and the temperature outside. And I have it set to Fahrenheit, and I also have it set to toggle because I'd like to leave it on my screen, and you know, you can use that as you will. This is a really cool mod. You can add custom radio streams from the internet to the radios, and then music at PSK. I disabled it because I didn't want to get copyright striked for having music, but this is a really cool one. I recommend this one. This is like my second favorite mod. This is a movable TV. It adds a TV. It starts in your parents' room at your parents' house, and you can take that anywhere. It's just another TV to add. Visible needs. It shows. Right now, I have it disabled, but what that was is that's going to help us get rid of our alcoholism. It's going to show what the actual rates are of our stats, because to get rid of alcoholism, you need to have like 21 minutes above 180, and that's called extreme sobriety on your thirst meter. So I'll show you how to do that, but that's all we use that for, and then we never really use this again. Voicemail, it allows you to get voicemails. So like when you're at work and you come home, you'll receive voicemails and you can listen to them, and you can get those jobs for like emptying sewer, cesspools, and also doing firewood jobs. My Winter Weed Farm. This adds weed growing into the game. It's a really cool mod. We'll mess with that. We'll get into that eventually. You can talk to Timo to get that started, and he'll sell you everything you need. Work tweaks. This is a very interesting one. So the way this works is, I have factory work. You can change the required hours per day. We don't want to be at the factory all the time, so I changed it to 5. So we're only required to work 5 hours per day. And so what I do is I work all day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it accumulates hours, and that'll satisfy our work needs for the week. And it also accumulates some overtime for you, but I have it set to 5 hours a day, just because you don't want to be at the factory all the time if you want to do the factory job. And I disabled slacking accumulation. Nobody wants to mess with that. Taxi work, everything's the same. Pay rate multiplier, minutes between calls. I didn't change nothing. I did disable private use punishment and disable inactivity firing. I haven't tested that yet, but we'll give that a go. Pay rate multiplier for ad dealing, it's the default. Firewood pay rate default. Log fill multiplier, we can just fill the trailer faster. This will 2x the amount of we'll fill the trailer twice as fast. So we just have to cut less logs using the log cutting machine. And the burn rate multiplier, you can turn that up and your customers will call you faster, but we have that set at default. Sewage pay rate, fill rate multiplier default, that's all default. Disabled phone call delay, I'm not really sure what that does, but I have it. And also the killju, disabled price drops over time, and disabled drink requirement. Brewing speed multiplier, I left that at the same. You can turn that up, turn it down. And also scrap metal pay rate multiplier, I doubled the amount we get for scrap metal because you almost don't get anything and you have a lot of scrap metal. Maybe we'll change this back to 1. We'll see how we'll see how much we get. If we get too much, we'll change it back. And then also yet another inventory mod. So what this is this allows you to carry certain things. This will I have it set to 30 kilograms, which is equivalent to something like a backpack in your pockets. It's not a lot of weight. And you can set the maximum length of items. I have it set to 51 centimeters. You can have that set to whatever you want. So the biggest thing you can carry, I think, is like a case of beer in your backpack, which is kind of realistic. You know, you could probably put a case of beer in your backpack if you really wanted to. And then, yeah, that's it. So we're gonna give this a go, and we're gonna start a new save. So new game, and we will call our guy Big Marshall. So our last name Marshall, first name we'll say Big Marshall. We want to turn permadeath off, and let's get this going. You can fast forward through that mod intro if you want, but as you see, the apartment's loading. It takes a minute to load the first time. Looks like we got some errors. Might been from a new mod I installed. PSK extended has thrown an error. Interesting. All right, I'm going to reset this and I'm going to delete that mod. We'll try again. All right, we're loaded into the game. So let's get this going. So as you see, this is the better apartment mod. You can add open cabinets. Really cool mod. There used to be the openable cabinets mod for my summer car you used to use at your parents' house. Hopefully that comes out for this soon. And also you see the TV here. Everything's in English. You can download this mod. I uploaded it to Nexus Mods, so check it out. It's called Light English Translation. All right. So bathroom there. So this is cool. So we're gonna wear the coveralls. But you can take the jacket and you can hang it on the coat, which is really cool. We'll put that bad boy on. There's a cool map. There's Parage RV. And then there's the meter. So you can see what the kilowatt hour is going at. Anyways. So here's the shed. It's the first time trying this mod for me. This is interesting. It does have a heater. It looks like it's on. The straight line is on, circles off, just if you guys didn't know. Comes with a battery charger, some shelves, and a light. Now, I'm not sure if this is connected to your power grid. I guess we'll find out if our power bill goes up or it seems high. But we'll close that up. That's going to be interesting. I think the only reason I want to install this mod, I think it'd be cool to grow the weed in here. And so I think that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm not going to park in there. I'll probably just keep it parked in to the block heater. But see, you see these strings going out? Those will disappear. But see, there's one that goes to PSK. It's like one goes to our parents, and one goes to the work. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they all go. I'd have to read the mod page again. But let's get this started. All right, so turn the choke on. pump the gas. Always pump the gas. And then turn the window heater on and hit the blower twice. You want to hear it loud. And if you check, if we go to the third person view, the chase camera mod, it'll show the engine temperature. See, it shows us at 53 degrees Celsius, shows you fuel in liters. So it's kind of cool. So it's a cool mod to use for stuff like that. So see those wires? Those will disappear after we save the game here at our apartment, if I'm not mistaken. But let's open this up. We'll let that run. And we're going to scrape our windows, get it done a little faster. So you can just spam click to scrape, or you can click once and hold down and then shake your mouse like that over the window, and supposedly that's supposed to make it go faster, which I think it does. But I just spam click because for the recording purposes, watching the screen shape like that is not entertaining. Scrape that window. And then these passenger windows, when you click them, it'll open your door. So you can either do that or do this method for these, which I find to be a little better, because the door opening and closing is kind of annoying. And a circular motion. It goes a lot faster. Definitely goes faster if you move your mouse like that. You just hold it down, and then I will disconnect this. So like I said, those should disappear after we save. We'll test that out. All right, but we are going to turn the choke off. We're gonna go to the store. Turn that off. Oh, seatbelt on. Always put your seatbelt on. We have to remember we have a shed there now, not to hit it. There's our mailbox on the end. We're gonna go get gas. So I have a steering wheel hooked up here for my computer, but I'm not using it for this game. It's kind of wonky. It does work. You have to set the controls for it, and there's a couple guides on the internet to show you how to do that. But I do have the a shifter, a Logitech shifter, and so I have it set in emergency brake mode where you can pull the lever. And so I'll show you. You can power slide pretty hard with it, which is very fun, and I'll show you right here. So I pull the e-brake here. You can kind of power slide, which makes driving kind of fun. I imagine it might be kind of fun to use it during the rally races. So if we ever get to that point, we'll so you got to do that. We got to build the car first, though. So you see it added a heater box over there. We could park the car there if we wanted to, but I like to park here and I just keep the car running, you know. So you turn the choke on, put it in neutral, and then put my e-brake, emergency brake on, or parking brake, and I keep the car running, and we'll get some gas here. And so this is the light English translation mod. It changes this gas pump into English. It doesn't take away from the essence and the vibe of the Finnish vibe of the game, but you can pick any number here. So if you just pick 200, it'll only charge you what you use. So it says enter your PIN, and the first time you enter it is what you set the PIN as. So we'll do 69. You can have a 2-digit PIN if you want. Easy number to remember. It says please take your card. And so because we click 200, we pick the pump, select the fuel pump, and it says refueling must begin within 2 minutes. So I like to open it, get the gas cap off. And like I said, it only charges for what we use. So even though we click 200, So the difference between here and my summer car is when you're fueling, you don't have to hold it down. You just point at it and then click once and it'll go, as long as you don't move your mouse away. See, if I move my mouse away, it'll stop refueling. But you just click it once and it's a lot more seamless. It's nicer. But I just keep the car running. Might as well, right? That used all that used all 200. Shoot. Okay, we didn't quite fill it up, but that's okay. It's close enough. Pop that bad boy. Should have picked 300, I guess. All right, so CC, this is normally in finish. Enter your card. It'll ask you to enter your PIN code and press OK. Clearly the green button is OK. Now you hit transactions and it will show you here. We just spent 200. Housing benefit 185. So this is like a unemployment. It's pretty much government assistance. And we're getting government assistance right now. That will eventually go away if you get the factory job. So you can either choose to do the factory job and that'll go away, but you'll make considerably more doing the factory job. That's why we lowered the amount of hours we have to work. That way we're not there all the time. We're just there 3 days a week. And then our overtime hours will accumulate for those extra 2 days that we're missing a week. And we just fill one box there a day, 3 days a week. So we do 3 boxes a week and it works out pretty good and you won't get fired. But anyways, so exit, take your card. And there's this is the what we need for to call the guy to get the rivet, our project car. So we need to do that. And then this is to deliver adverts. But first things first, let's go buy some cigarettes. I'm gonna buy 3 packs of cigarettes. I'll keep 2 in my backpack and I'll open 1. Right now, as you see, we have no cigarettes. All right. All right. So we opened 1, and we're gonna put 2 of these in our backpack. All right. And so what we're gonna do is buy all the bags of chips. We're gonna start with food. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want to buy too many. Keep it simple. And we'll buy a couple things of coffee. We'll buy 3 of those. And we'll buy a beer. We'll put this in the front seat of the car, I think. That way we know which bags belong to which. Because I'm going to buy the stuff to make Killju as well. So let's put this, we'll take the beer, pop the beer in our backpack. And take this and put in the front seat of the car. We're gonna buy another beer too, because we're gonna keep 1 beer in the car and I think 1 beer at home. So pop that in the front seat. And we're gonna pop this pop that the floorboard. And we're gonna come over here. Just buy the stuff to make Killju. So we want all the juice concentrate. We want to buy all the sugar, and we'll buy 4 of those. And we're just gonna stock up a little bit, and we'll buy another beer. Do that right now. This lady, man, she just takes her little sweet time. That's okay. She comes eventually. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Looks great. All right, so like this again, we'll stick the beer in the backpack. And we'll put it in the back here. That's that. And another thing we will do, I think, is we're gonna buy all these energy drinks. As you see, this is Rest in Peach Liquid Death. This stuff is great, by the way. I buy this here, but I don't get the energy drinks. I just get the carbonated water. Normally, like bubbly, it has 0 calories. So these Liquid Deaths, they have 20, like 10 or 20 calories, but they're really tasty. I like the lime ones, so I get those. Quite tasty. We're also gonna buy a magazine, but we're gonna do that separate, and we'll put that in our backpack. So put that on the floor. Let's get that one. Buy that, we'll open it, and we'll put that in our backpack. So this is energy drinks. We're gonna leave this in the car. We'll leave that in the back seat. So I'll show you here. Look at this good food. I think we're gonna get a bite to eat. What do we crave in here? And see if I check the time, it toggles it and it leaves up on the screen. So it's 11:45. You know, let's get a chicken burger, I think. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna get the chicken burger, I think. You can hook me up, buddy? All right, man. Let me know when it's ready. We'll go get we're gonna need some beer, but on the next day, I'm gonna show you how to fix the problem meter. We'll take a case with us because we're gonna need to get our problem meter down. We'll eat at this table here. Right, there's our fries. Those fries look good. Hey, buddy. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, thank you. I will. Let's plop that down there and sit down in our booth. Let's have a brewski. Ah, the finished life. Just throwing beer bottles. Look at that beautiful chicken burger. That's good stuff. And as you see, if we drink water, our problem meter... Oh, that's interesting. It's going down. Is it supposed to go down? I'm so confused. Huh. All right. We'll put this back in the car and I think we'll take off. We'll head back home. We'll get our groceries unloaded. That's our energy drinks. That's our kill juice stuff. And those are our groceries in the front seat. And we'll put those in our inventory because we're going to take those inside as well. So you turn your choke off. Give it a little bit of gas. And we'll take it off. If you see, our windows are fogging up a bit. And that's because we got into the car with a little bit of sweat. So you see how we're a little sweaty? So if you don't want your windows to fog up, get in the car while you're not sweating. And that's the trick. So we're gonna try not to sweat here. Wait till our sweat goes down a little bit. There we go. Your sweat's down. So your windows will fog up if you get in the car when you're sweaty. Just a tip for you. Now, like I said, we could cheat and do that, but I feel like that kind of takes away from the essence of the game. I just like using it for parking. Look at that. Is that another sorbet? Man, what a beauty. Herr Jarvie. Head back to our apartment. Man, we gotta take a piss, huh? I don't understand why our thirst meter was going down. I wonder if there was an update. Hold on. We missed our turn. Oh, there's our cousin. Whoa, chill, cuz. That's Pena. Hey, man, you're driving crazy, dude. You gotta chill. So he drives a red truck in this game instead of the green car. But he drives like a mad. You gotta watch out for him. He will crash into you and he will kill you. We're not ready to die yet. And like I said, some people don't like mods, but to me, there's a lot of bugs still kind of in the game too, and some of these mods fix the bugs. To me, it just makes the game a little more enjoyable. It's just personal preference. So this is what I use it for. So see how we overshot that? Boom. So I use it for stuff like that. And so what we do is we'll turn that off, hit the heater twice, and it shuts it off. And then you make sure your lights are off, but our lights were not on. See, they're on, they're off. And then you just click the ignition. Boom. And your car is off. Now let's get the groceries inside. So we could park it in the garage if we want. I think it stays warm in there, but we're going to use the outdoor heater. We're going to save the garage, I think, for weed growing. Put a bunch of weed plants in there. I think that's why I wanted to install that one. I think that would be a cool little thing. So we'll put our groceries on the floor there. Let's go and load the rest of it. Oh, let's unload our beer case too. And then our classified magazine, we'll put it here on the nightstand. On this Better Apartment mod, that's also another feature. It adds a little table right here. It's kind of cool because it's usually just on a chair, I believe. But yeah, the phone works good. And so, like I said, I have this save manager, and you can kind of save anywhere, I believe. But what we're going to do is we'll make sure we're at a toilet to save to keep the essence of the game. We'll leave one beer in here. So that's energy drinks. We'll leave that in there. We're just going to take this. This is going to be our Killju stuff, and we'll put that in the living room, and we'll unpack that at the end. So pop that in there. I love how you can just clip into the walls in this game. It's so funny because it's like, we'll put that on the table. It's like, is my neighbor home? Are you home, buddy? Huh? Look all around? Nope. You just peek into his apartment. I love that. It's the perfect level of jank. So we're going to get this game saved real quick. We're going to take a leak first, though. So yeah, that's kind of the basic rundown of the first day. That's kind of what I do. But I also like to unload everything before we go to bed. We're not going to go to sleep yet. What I do is it dribbles a little bit, and then you wait a little bit so the urine's going down, and then if you hold it down the right time, hold it down, pee again, and then it'll almost drain it all out. Sometimes you can time it right, and it'll just drain it all out. That's kind of what I do. But yeah, let's save this save. We're gonna put it here. We're gonna call it YouTube series. If you're using this mod, never put it in the first slot, because when you create a new save, it'll always overwrite it in that first slot. So I never put it here. So this is my original save. I'm going to put the new one right here, save slot 2. Actually, I'm going to change it to here, save slot 3. What about YouTube series? Now it doesn't show up when I hit OK, but if I hit save, I think it will show up. So we'll save it here. Now after you save, you have to exit the game and reload it. For whatever reason, it bugs out the game. Like, look at light switches don't work. It's really weird. So you have to exit. So after you're done saving, always exit and then reload. Manage saves. See, YouTube series. And then we can hit load on that one, which we will. Loading back in. When you're running mods, especially when you're running a lot like I am, you gotta wait for this to load. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. All right, so you see our dirtiness meter? I'm not sure, like I just take showers when I see that kind of full, so kind of base it off that. But now see the light switches work again, so that worked like a charm. And if you see, you can see our YouTube series. So we'll always just save in this slot, and that'll be our save slot. Let's unload though. Unload our groceries. Oh, I'll show you this real quick before we unload. Now, like I said, those wires should be gone. And they are. And also, I don't know if this is a mod I'm using or if this happens without the mods, but I noticed this comes unplugged all the time after you save. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But we have some mods where we don't have to worry about the car not starting, like the cold start fix and the battery recharging and stuff. So I'm not too worried about that. But if you're playing the base game, you might have to deal with that more. But that also could be happening because of a mod I'm using. So don't quote me on that. Let me know if you have that problem in vanilla. Also, I always have a problem with my the classifieds disappearing. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, if that's a mod or if that's just a common problem. All right, so my wife hates it when I just burst open the bag like that. Now, I'm not going to be super OCD and perfect about how I play stuff. I will be a little bit. I like to have a little organization, but I'm not going to get too crazy with it. But like, we'll get our food put in here decently. Love these, like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to stress on which way the sausages are facing. Like, those are clearly facing backwards. I'm not going to stress if they're facing sideways or backwards. This is the correct way, technically, but I'm not going to stress on it. I'm not that OCD. You kind of want it facing, I don't want it facing all weird and wonky sideways. I do want it facing the right direction, just not, I don't care if it's facing backwards, that's all. See, like, that's good enough. And these macaronis, these look good. Those are like, they're like beef stroganoff macaronis. I would tear those up IRL. We'll set our coffees aside here. We're gonna put those on the shelf. Oops. My field of depth is a little wonky. Let's get these pizzas in. How many of those we got? Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure we had 4 sausages there. That's what we bought. And we got 4 pizzas and 4 macaronis. And that's good enough. Close that up. And we're just going to stick these chips over here. So something I want to test, is water lowering our problem? Okay, so no, it's not. But the drink at the PSK did. That's interesting. I did not know that. So as you see, water does not lower our problem. Only beer will. And apparently that drinking the soda at the PSK did as well. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I've never seen that before, but also I've never tested it much. But when we go to sleep, when we load the game in, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So this is what we're gonna do. Our bags of chips up. Boom. All right, that's good enough. And our coffees, we'll put them on this little shelf here. I like this little corner shelf. Kind of cool. See, now I'm getting particular. Right. That's great. Perfect. Set that on the end of the table as well. That looks beautiful. All right, so it is 2 p.m. 2:07. Everything looks good. Now let's brew some Killju. So first things first, let's take it in here. I like to crouch down here because the shelves will block everything. Boom, pop that bad boy open. We'll throw the juices out of the way over here. Should be 6 juices. 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I blind? Must be. Oh, there's 6 over there. Okay, I just can't count. It's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 6 that we need, and there's 1. So that'll be our first batch. We'll put the rest of these on the shelf for now. And we're going to put these here. These I do kind of like facing the same way. And then, yep, this is the right way. Take this one. All right. So we got our yeast and our sugar. Let's go get our bucket. If you hold down shift, it'll run too. You'll move faster. But for recording purposes, it kind of makes it real choppy. Okay, so the lid starts off. So we'll take our lid, put it in here. Makes it real jerky if I run around a lot, as you see, and it doesn't look good on the recording, in my opinion. Let's put our bucket down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a yeast. All right, let's turn some lights on. It's starting to get dark out. And we take our yeast, our bucket here, and we'll fill it up here in the bathroom. Underneath the faucet there. Turn that on. We'll get that going. Drain the main vein. Always got to do that. And let it drain a little more, and then we hold it down. It gets the rest out. By the way, this Better Apartment mod makes the sink work too, which is kind of nice. You see, that does nothing for our problem. We're gonna hold off because I think we're gonna let's have a beer. I want to get our problem down to 0 because I want to see with 3 bags of chips how far up that takes us. We'll smoke a cigarette as well. It's beer and a cigarette. Don't get better than this, huh? Oh yeah, there it is. It's done. So you see, it should eventually turn this little brownish color. This little puke brown. And you take the lid, and you pop it on. You should hear it bubble. And we hear it bubbling. So we take that. I like to stick it over here in this little corner. Nice place to let it brew. And then in a couple days, not sure the exact time, but when that work tweaks mod, we could increase that. But I kind of like the rate at which it does it. You know, I don't want to have to do it all the time or feel like I need to do it all the time. So another thing is we'll drink these juices. You pick one up, drink it, and then we'll put the empty bottles right here. This is gonna have to make us take a leak, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a bunch of juice and a cigarette. Chugging these bottles of juice can't be good for our health, I'll tell you that much. It almost look like juice concentrates. We're just drinking straight juice concentrate, probably. You're probably meant to mix like 5 gallons of juice with this one bottle, or 20 gallons of juice. Probably fill that 5-gallon bucket up 4 or 5 times with one of these concentrates. Oh well. All right, so there's our first 6 empty bottles. And we're gonna urinate. All right. So another thing this does is after a certain time, I'll show you your summer fatigue. So the summer fatigue after 1800, which is 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., you can start watching the TV and you will gain fatigue and you will be tired enough to where you can go to sleep. So that was this thing in my summer car. This re-adds it to the game. I imagine he's going to add it into my winter car, but it's cool that modders have added that in. And also you can change the how fast you get tired and stuff. This is vanilla. This is 1.0 is vanilla. If you have it at 1, we have it at 0.6. And the mod creator says this is actually closer. This is very similar to the my summer car fatigue rate. So he increased it quite a bit, it seems like, in my winter car, from what I can tell. As you see, we're a while before then. So what we're going to do, let's get our problem down. And we're going to test something out here. We're going to go, I think, we're going to get some sleep. And when I wake up, we're going to get rid of our problem. And we're going to make it so that just water fixes our problem. And I will show you how to do that. So let's go to bed. And we're going to wake up. It'll probably be before midnight. Yeah. So it's only 10 p.m. We woke up, it's 10 p.m. We can always watch TV to go to bed again. So I will show you what to do. So if you come down here, and this is the only time I will use this mod. If we go to, what's it called? Visible needs. So we enable this. Okay. So we enable visible needs. If you see, our thirst is at -6. Okay. So eat a bag of chips, 1 bag of chips. That takes us to 54. 2 bags of chips, 115. Okay, so if we didn't have -6, if we did not have the -6, 3 bags of chips will take you to 180. So another way to increase it is if you sprint into the wall and punch the wall. You can get up to 180. Boom. Okay, we're at 180. Now, start a timer for 7 minutes. So we'll start a timer for 7 minutes. And in 7 minutes, we will save the game. And when you save the game, it'll reset that thirst number that you see at 181. It'll reset that back to 180. And so if you do that 3 times, then you will have gotten rid of your alcoholism, and you can enjoy the game without only having to drink beer. You can drink water, and it'll turn into a thirst meter. Now, there's a visual glitch where every time you reload the game, it'll still say problem, but if it gets into the red and then you drink water again, it'll say thirst again. But ideally, it should just say thirst, and it changes into a thirst bar. Even though it says problem, it'll still be a thirst bar. And so that's how you do it. And so we'll sit here and we'll wait for 7 minutes. And after 7 minutes, we'll save the game and we'll do it all over again. And that's how this works. So you might need to buy more bags of chips because it looks like we got 3. And then so we're going to be missing a bag. But we can always, like I said, you can always run into the wall and punch it. Now, there's really no way to tell unless you're using a mod like visible needs to see what your thirst meter's at. But like I said, 3 bags of chips will put you right at 180 if your thirst is at 0. So I suggest using, if you want to actually get rid of it faster. I mean, you could just edit, go into my summer car or my winter car save editor. I'm sure there's ways to do it in there, but we're gonna do it like this. And so we got 5.5 minutes left on our timer, and I'm gonna skip to ahead when the 7 minutes is up. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, and our timer is up. So as you can see, we're at 198 thirst. So it's been 7 minutes. So what you do is you save the game again. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna hit save. And normally you just look into the toilet if you're not using Save Manager and click save. And so then what we do is we quit the main menu and reload the game. And this is sometimes it does this. All right, so go to manage saves and we load our save, a YouTube series. Load back in, and our problem meter should be at 180. Or third, it'll say thirst in the needs mod. But if you look there, it's back to 181. And so we start another 7 minutes timer. So we start that now. So I started another 7 minute timer. We wait 7 more minutes and we'll save again. And we have to do that 3 times. So I will see you again in 7 minutes. I will skip to when this is over. See you then. All right. So another 7 minutes has passed. We're at 198 again. And so we do this, we save the game again. We go to YouTube series, hit save, confirm. Right, and exit out, quit the main menu. and manage saves, and we will load the YouTube series again. Loading up, and we'll have to do 7 more minutes one last time. And like I said, you could do this without mods. Like I said, it's 3 bags of chips. You just got to get your alcoholism to 80, or your thirst meter to 80, or your problem meter technically. But as you see, it's back at 181. We'll start a 7-minute timer. Started it up, and as you see, our alcoholism meter, it's at 43.5, so it's getting lower. And that's going to keep going down. And hopefully that'll be below, that will eventually be below 0%. When it hits under 0, when it hits in the negative territory, you have cured your alcoholism, and water will satisfy your problem bar, aka thirst bar. It should be called thirst after that. Technically it will be called in there, but there's a visual bug right now. If you get it into the red and then drink water, it'll turn into thirst again every time. But every time you reload the game, it'll say problem again, but it will turn it into a thirst bar. And that's how you do it. So we're at 43.5, and we just wait another 7 minutes. And so I will see you in about 6 minutes. It's been about a minute, so I'll see you in 6. All right, welcome back. So it's almost 7 minutes is up. We got a couple more seconds, and my alarm is going off. We turn that off. Now, if you see here, we're at 198 for the thirst. Our alcoholism is at -7 or -9.7. So our alcoholism should be cured. So you can use this one in this mod, but we'll go to the kitchen sink. If you don't have this mod installed, drink water from here. Now our thirst should go down here. And as you see, it is going down, and boom, water, and it turns into a thirst bar. Water now cures our problem bar, aka thirst bar. And that's how you do it. You have to be above 180 for 21 minutes, or I think it's closer to 20 minutes, but maybe even less than that, but roughly, you know, I just to be safe, I do it 7 minutes. And our alcoholism, as you see, it was in -17, and so we're set. And now you can get that back up again. You'd have to get really drunk and do it a lot. From what I've heard, I've never had that problem. I mean, if you go, you can go ahead and just drink. You know, it doesn't go up. So, yeah, alcoholism cured. So what we're gonna do to lock it in, and you see, this is a good test. As you see, first things first. We'll do the needs. So visible needs, we're gonna disable that because we don't really need that anymore. And as you see, it is 23:45. Now I'm gonna save the game, and when I save it, you'll see it's gonna go back to 11 p.m. It's 11:47 right now. The way the game worked before, it would jump up to midnight. It would jump to 12. But we're gonna do this, and we're gonna, instead of hitting the toilet, we're gonna save it right here. We're gonna go save YouTube series, confirm. We're just going to lock in our alcoholism, and then we'll click to main menu, manage saves, and we will load the YouTube series. Confirm. And I will show you. See, it shows back up as problem, as you can see, right? And this will be a little test. I'll show you how to get it to say thirst again. It doesn't matter. It's just a visual bug. But say we eat a bag of chips, eat another bag. It says problem. If you drink water, if you get it up to red and then drink water again, it'll turn back into thirst. But it doesn't matter. We can see, as you can see, we can eat a bag of chips, and it'll still go down. It doesn't have to be red. But yeah, so we just kind of wasted a bunch of chips, but that's okay. Let's go to the restroom before our bladder explodes. But yeah, that's how you get rid of your alcoholism. So that was a quick tutorial in the first episode, I guess. Let's check the time. So it's almost midnight, and I'll show you how to the fatigue mod. I'll show you how to watch some TV to get tired. just like you did in My Summer Car. And it works on any TV, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure if it works on the extra TV mod that we have. Gives you an extra TV that you can move. It's a portable TV. I'm not sure if it works on that, but we'll test it out. It does work on your apartment TV and the TV at your parents, though. But if you see, our fatigue is going up.
A group of Egyptian archaeologists recently found interesting pieces of evidence.
They have some interesting shows on now. This Egyptian alien one is kind of cool.
While investigating the Sahara Desert,
you can see here, we could do leisure.
first we noticed that a lot of them were specifically showing a picture of a foot.
Let's do quote of the day. Let's check out the quote of the day.
Realized they were actually giant-sized legs.
The blind peer from behind a mask. The deaf will listen from under a hat. Who walks into the mirror?
They were going to be stepped
Apple
over by the Nephilim, the
Patanin.
giants, so they made huge buildings they could escape into.
We'll turn the TV off though. And as you can see, that's how that works. Let's smoke a cig, get our stress level down, but we're gonna go to bed, and I think this is where we will call episode 1. So we'll sleep tonight, and then we'll save the game. And then we'll start episode 2 on the new day. And I think we're gonna go get a job tomorrow. I think that's the plan. We're going to go to the factory and get the job. And the starting day of the job, if we go get hired this week, the starting day will be next Monday. And I think that's the plan. And as you see here, these are the parts. The light English translation mod does not translate this. I've seen a lot of English. I've seen the other English translation mod, and some of them they try to translate this, but it doesn't need to be done because you notice on a lot of his magazines and whatnot, he's added an English translation to a lot of the bills and such. So you just click on the English flag. That's how you do that. But we're going to go to bed, and we will call this episode 1. And I will save the game after this, and I will see you on episode 2. We'll see you next time.